Welcome everybody to the not Indie Pod. That's what we're I gotta change the branding at the top here. To the Business Geeks Podcast, which you can barely see, but if I put my hand over it, maybe you there you go. I'll just keep my hand up here the whole time so you can see the logo in the top right hand corner of your screen. We are coming to you live here on Facebook Live on a new day and time. It's Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. What time is it and day is it in Australia?
It's Tuesday at 10 a.m.
Tuesday at 10 a.m. Sydney, Australia time. Is it Sydney, Australia time?
Yeah, that'll do.
All right, Sam from Samantha Riley Global. How are you feeling tonight?
It's day for a start, so I've got my coffee.
Not even.
No, doing
I'll
good.
just go back
doing
to
good.
hold my hand up here.
Yeah, no, doing good down here.
Good. Still in lockdown?
Totally. But the curve has flattened. We've got hardly anyone getting sick down here, so we're super grateful. We're not going through anything like you guys are going through there, thank goodness. But our thoughts are with you and a lot of Europe that are going through some really tough times right now.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear that you're all staying safe down there, staying separated. I can tell you some stories from this weekend that I saw lots of barbecuing happening. Yeah, it's not good. Not a good look. Not a good look in this time. And we also have Jennifer Crawford from Sparent.co. How are we feeling tonight, Jennifer?
Feeling good, Joe. Happy and healthy and very grateful for that. So good. I'm enjoying the spring weather. I think that does a lot to boost the mood.
Did you get out today?
Yeah, I got out for a run this morning and a little bit of a workout in my driveway. And yeah, felt good.
Oh, that's awesome. So I've been well. Been really busy, like really busy with so many different projects rolling at the same time, and getting to spend time with the family. It's been good. Real positive. I'm very happy that my son actually asked for me now instead of just mommy. So I've seen him every day since March 9th, and that is it's a bit of a blessing in this crazy time. So I definitely am appreciative of that. So this week we are talking growing your business using LinkedIn. Sam or Jen, who wants to spearhead this one?
I would like to spearhead this with a confession.
Okay.
I'm terrible at LinkedIn.
High five.
I'm terrible. I'm trying so hard. Sam, I know this is like totally your wheelhouse. You're going to be saving us this episode. I know some things about LinkedIn. I could maybe give some other people advice, but do I take it? Oh my gosh. And you know why? It's because it was sort of the social media platform that was a little late to the game. It's really come into its own the past couple of years. So I hadn't incorporated LinkedIn into my social media habits. And I'm not as comfortable. It doesn't feel like second nature like it does, like Facebook does, because I just haven't been engaged with the platform long enough. So it's still kind of like the uncle that you meet at a family reunion that you're supposed to love, but you don't really know him very well, but you hug him anyway. So anyway, that's kind of like, that's what I want to start off with. But I've got some interesting statistics to maybe start us off before we get to the good stuff. The reason I need to embrace LinkedIn more than I have is because LinkedIn reports over 660 million users spread over 200 countries as of late November 2019. Okay.
Wow.
So, and in 2019, 90 million LinkedIn users were senior level influencers and 63 million were in decision-making positions. So this is the networking event of your dreams all online. These are the people that you want to get in touch with to grow your business, grow your network. These are the types of people that can help you do that if you know how to use LinkedIn properly. So that will be the launch of this discussion, my confession, and me trying to convince you that even though I'm not using it maybe to the best advantage that I could be, it is a very important platform to be on if you have a small business.
Well, I'm hoping by the end of today's episode, Jen, that I can convince you enough to be on it more often, and you too, Joe, because exactly like you just said, Jen, all the right people that are in the right positions are hanging on LinkedIn. It is the world's largest online networking site. So imagine going into a networking event and having 900 million people there that are all there specifically to talk business. 2 people, I don't know if you know this, 2 people join LinkedIn every single second. That's how popular this is. Imagine being at a network event where every second 2 people walked in the door.
I can't
The fire marshal's going to be the next one.
Well, we can't. Okay, so this is where we actually had this show scheduled in for a couple of months ago, or at least 6 weeks ago, when, COVID-19 started to come up, and we didn't think it was appropriate at that time to talk about it. But when we were talking about today's episode, I thought, you know what, today is the perfect time to talk about it, because we're social distancing, or as I prefer to say, physical distancing. So we should still be networking. Jennifer, you had said like many, many times on this show how important it is to network. So just because we're all in our homes doesn't mean that we shouldn't be networking. Right now is the perfect time to meet new people, collaborate, be doing joint ventures, meeting new people, building relationships, all of those types of things. And LinkedIn is the perfect place or a perfect platform to do that.
I'm ready. Okay, I've got my
blazer on and all.
I've got my blazer on. I'm ready for LinkedIn.
So look at this, Joe. I said to Jennifer, I went, wow, you look fancy today. She said, I've got my blazer on because we're talking LinkedIn. And I was like, I know, and I've just turned up in the same old black top.
I just want to be accepted. I just want to be accepted on LinkedIn.
Uncle LinkedIn is saying, Jennifer, you are more than welcome to join us.
If I took this blazer off, they'd be like, what is that ratty shirt you're wearing? Get out of our platform.
However, it has changed. Have you guys noticed that in the last probably last 12 months, how much LinkedIn has changed? So I've been using LinkedIn since I joined around 2012, and to be honest, had no idea how to use it. Like, I used to get these people, I'd get these connection requests in my email inbox, and I'd be thinking, I don't know who that is. I don't even know what to do with this. I would just go, accept, and run away because I didn't know what to do. But around 2014, I went to a conference and someone was talking about LinkedIn and how he used it. And I remember sitting there. It was only about an hour that he spoke for. And in that hour, my mind was blown. And I just thought, oh my goodness, I hadn't understood how to use it, what it was. And from then I started really diving deep. And from about 2015, I started really diving deep, teaching about LinkedIn. And in the last 12 months, I've gotten so excited because the platform has really changed. So back in, 2014, a lot of the work that was done on LinkedIn was done through connecting with people. But in the last 12 months, newsfeed views on LinkedIn have gone up 60%. So the way that we're interacting with LinkedIn is now a lot different. And it's a really great place to really share our thought leadership and our expertise, because people are now using the newsfeed as well, which is really cool.
I love everything you said. I will say though, I've tried to post more frequently on LinkedIn, but I am definitely suffering from a lack of consistency. And then I also suffer from LinkedIn rejection, in the sense that I've posted some things and they've gotten very little feedback, like not even like 3 likes. And then I'm like, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I like, well, whatever I'm putting into the LinkedIn universe, it is being spit back out. So I need to rethink what I'm doing here. And then I get a little more hesitant the next time. So I don't know if other people experience that, but I don't feel such rejection on Facebook. Like no matter what I put on Facebook, I feel like I'm guaranteed at least 5 to 10 likes on the low end. On a good day,
and you don't even need to put on your blazer.
I don't even need to wear a blazer. So I'm just trying to figure out how to fit into the LinkedIn crowd better.
I'm curious too, because like, so I'm going to share my screen real quick if I may. So here's a post that I did, right? Free virtual supervisor, blah, blah, blah. 5 likes, but it's been seen 310 times apparently. So that's pretty incredible actually that only 5 people liked it. I mean, I don't know if there's a way to see how many people actually like clicked on it as far as like, because maybe that's the reason that more people see it. I don't know, like maybe people are clicking on it. I'm not really sure, but like 310, like you share something on Facebook, 310 people ain't seeing that if only 5 people like it.
Yeah, we do like those numbers. So that's a little bit of a mystery.
Yeah.
Should we dive in?
Yeah, if you want to, be my guest.
Yeah, so I've shared a document with you guys, and I'm quite willing and happy, more than happy to share it with our listeners. But I teach a framework called the Triple Threat Framework. Ooh. Now, how I came up with this is, I don't know if you guys even know, but I have a dance background. I'm actually a choreographer. I'm a dancer. And, in our world, a triple threat is someone that can dance, can sing, and can act. If you turn up at an audition and someone's a triple threat, you can't sing or you can't act, you are shaking in your boots. Like triple threats, we're talking Hugh Jackman. He's my favorite triple threat. There's
Justin
quite a lot
Timberlake.
Justin, hello.
Hello.
These people, if you turned up at an interview with them, at an audition with them, you know that you're not going to get a look in, right? So, and LinkedIn is the same. There's 3 different areas. So the triple threat framework is phase 1 is all about your compelling profile. This is what you have on your profile. This is your headline. It's what you write. Phase 2 is your connection approach. So how you actually connect and interact with people. And phase 3 is your content strategy and how you show up in the newsfeed. So just like a triple threat, if you've only got 1 or 2 pieces, imagine it like a 3-legged stool. If one of those pieces is missing, it falls over. So if you've got not a profile that's not very compelling, it doesn't matter how much content you've got going out, you're unlikely to build the relationships and connect with people the same. And it works the whole way around. So you definitely need to make sure that you've got the profile, the connection strategy, and the content strategy.
Well, do you have any tips on how to make your profile stand out? Because I see a lot of profiles and they all kind of run together. I don't know. Sometimes I think that, there are a couple templates for writing a good profile. Everybody uses them. And then all of a sudden it's just a sea of monotony. So how do you stand out? Like, I have like a funny profile picture and I have a kind of a funny headline. I'm not saying it's not attracting me any business, I'm sure, but I'm like, but at least I'm funny, at least I'm clever.
I think that's something that you've brought up that's really important. We do need to be ourselves. We need to make sure that our brand is exactly who we are, so that if someone met us in person, that would be showing up in exactly the same way, not having your funny profile picture and then turning up and being, very straight and boring and bland. Your profile picture, Jen, is exactly who you are in person. I think it's absolutely perfect from a branding perspective. So let's go back though. Let's start off with the headline. Yes. The headline, let me tell you a bad headline saying XYZ Proprietary Limited or XYZ LLC. This is not a good headline, because we don't know what XYZ company is. or something like entrepreneur. So what? This is not a good headline. And headline should be an outcome-driven headline for who it is that you serve and how you help them. So that's
we can take down my profile.
Okay. Well, no, she's making me feel nervous because I'm conscious about my profile.
I'm not talking about anyone's profile.
Oh man!
Unless you've got XYZ LLC, and then in which case
it does say co-founder of Sparent, and oh my gosh,
I don't know how that happened like that because I thought I had like a different headline there. But
I can't even see the screen.
I know you gotta magnify that, Joe, if you can.
God, I'm way too old for this.
There we go. Oh, you got.
Yeah, so I don't know why that's like that, but
that's the best gig you've got right now.
Yeah, it is, right?
Exactly. Co-host at Business Geeks podcast. Well,
right.
It does say
loud and proud.
Yeah, I mean, but what's weird? It's like I have a founder, the business. Like, there's other things here, but for some reason, I guess it just took the newest thing that I added.
Well, LinkedIn knows what's important. LinkedIn knows where you're going to make your big money.
I'd be more inclined to edit that, Joe, even though I think that's a fabulous headline.
Don't you touch it. Don't you dare touch it.
It's totally getting changed. I don't know what to write. I don't know what do you want to write this while we're here? Like,
all right. No. Let's not write it while we're here.
Okay.
However, okay. So what we want to do with our outcome-driven headline is start off with who we help. So I work with, or I help, or whatever it is, and be very clear on your ideal client. Who is that ideal client that you serve? And then how do you help them? So, I can't remember the exact wording of mine, but it's something like I help experts.
I can pull it up. Don't worry.
I help experts to, let's see if I get it right, to develop and monetize their thought leadership and influence. Look at that. There we go.
Oh, wow.
So it clearly shows who it is that I help and how I help them. So it's all about who do I want to read this? So if I've got someone that comes to my profile and they're, and they help restaurant owners, they know that we're not a match. They just know straight away. The other thing I really like is some authority positioning pieces. If you're a professional speaker, if you're an author, I really like those kinds of things on there as well, because we want people to be able to reach out to us if they've got an opportunity. So that's the outcome-driven headline.
I like it. I think it's very impressive. I do have a question though.
Yeah, ask away.
Yeah. So with me, I have a company called Sparent, but I'm really not the face of Sparent. Like, it's not a personal brand. It's a company. I have a co-founder. We have people that work with us. So the statement there, I feel like I don't know how much I should put into it. It's like I help. It's not really I help. It's, Sparent. That's why I just say co-founder of Sparent. I don't really say how I help people. Is that wrong?
But you are.
No. I think this is such an awesome question, because this also could be asked by someone that is employed at an accounting firm with 50 other accountants. LinkedIn is your personal brand. It's your personal profile. So just because you are a co-founder, you're talking about yourself on this profile. So you don't need to say I help. So I think I've got helping, because I also have a team behind me. So, helping entrepreneurs to blah, blah, blah. I can't think of an outcome-driven headline for you on the fly.
Yeah,
but
right.
But your profile is your brand. It's for you. So a lot of times if I'm speaking to a corporation or a big business, I really try and get each person within that business to understand what is their unique take, or how do they help the people the most? What's their zone of genius within the company? And then brand themselves as that. So then you've got all bases covered within a company. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It makes total sense. I need to go now because I need to go fix my profile.
Hold on, I can pull it back up for you.
No, I'm not going to mess with it right here. It's going to be me and a little bit of whiskey and my LinkedIn profile for about an hour.
but actually, so let's talk about the profile picture. So the outcome driven headline is the first thing that people see, but the profile picture is also really, really important. And Jen, there is something that you are doing absolutely brilliantly that I'm not sure if you know that you've done it or if you've done it on purpose.
I definitely don't know.
That your profile picture should be the same on every single social media platform.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
Yeah, and that's exactly the same as your Facebook picture,
Yes.
your Facebook image, because people may not have met you in person. They want to be able to recognize across all the platforms that that is definitely you. So super awesome that you've used that same image across all of your platforms, Jen. So well done.
Well, thank you,
Yes.
Sam. I love it when I accidentally do something right.
No, and you know what? That's such an important thing. I complimented at least one or two people for that very reason when I was at Podfest, because I knew what they looked like because they had the same photo from like 2 or 3 years that I've been following. Like I might never met them in person, but now I knew exactly what they looked like because it was right there. I mean, and with that said, I have a picture of my daughter on my Facebook right now, which it's a hilarious photo, but it probably needs to get changed back over.
Yeah, not so good on the branding.
Yeah.
Well, and Sam, there's one thing I know. Talking back to going back to like what you put in your profile there, is that LinkedIn is a search engine. And so those things are also acting as keywords for people who are looking for your expertise or for your unique zone of genius, your skill set. So it is really important in terms of growing your business to really nail that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. There was a stat, and I've sat down without it, and I feel terrible about this because I really should have sat down with the stat. But I know that years and years ago, when I first started studying social media, there was a stat going around that said that most people make up their decision of what you're like or make their thoughts within 7 seconds of seeing you. And then I'd seen a couple of years ago that it was now 3 seconds. There is a study that has come out that said that people make their decision on whether they think you are the person that they should be working with in less than 0.03 of a second.
That's so fast. That's literally a blink of an eye.
Exactly. So we could sit here and discuss whether we think that's a good thing or whether we think it's a bad thing or judge it or whatever, but it's a fact, right? So we should be putting up an image that is nice and clear, head and shoulders only, something that makes people want to connect with you, something that's got a nice, a friend, whether it's a smile or something friendly, something that looks like you, so that if you do take that connection online and have to meet them in a coffee shop, that you know who you're going to go and meet. But yeah, definitely having a really good professional photo for your profile picture.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah. Well, how professional is professional? Because so in my case, I have this photo, in the button down shirt, but like you almost never see me in a button down shirt.
Well,
right?
No, okay. So I personally would have the button down shirt.
Yeah,
because I think that does look more professional. However, at the same time, it still needs to be branded for you. Someone like Gary Vee, he's got an amazing brand that we all know, his expertise. He can wear a T-shirt, no one cares. But he's already proven himself. None of us, well, actually, how about I just speak for myself? I'm not as well known as Gary Vee.
Well, no.
So I'm not about to go onto LinkedIn with just a picture of a T-shirt because I don't think that's not the way I want to be perceived. See, Lou's got it. Judging a book by its cover. It's what people do.
we have no choice. We have
exactly.
To. We have to.
So, I mean, it's totally up to you, Joe. If whilst you are showing up in a T-shirt all the time, what I'd be thinking about more is for the clients that you want to work with, are they likely to hire you if you're wearing a T-shirt? Again, I'm not judging, but are they likely to hire you if you're wearing a tee?
I would keep the button down. However,
I'm the same.
Well,
I do not show up to business meetings with a salad on my head, but I'm rethinking that decision. I'm totally rethinking
they're
it.
not going to be able to find you in the coffee shop.
Oh,
This is
you
terrible.
should definitely turn up with a salad on your head, Jen.
I'm totally going to do that. You guys think I won't? I totally will.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
I love putting food on my head. I love it. I love it. It's so much fun. Ah.
So, yeah, that profile, it is, look at it through your ideal client size and think about how they're potentially judging. I'm not judging. I don't care what you show up in. But if I've got a $10 million business and I have a belief that people that wear button-up down shirts are the ones that are more likely to help me, then, like.
And I might be okay with that, honestly, because that's not necessarily the person that's going to mesh the best with me, right?
Yeah.
And I think that comes back to it goes back to when I was filming the TV show and going back and forth. Do I wear a button-down shirt or do I wear my gray V-necks like I wear literally every day at the shop? It's a hard call, but for me it's just who I am. Like I can't. It's hard. I'm not going to be somebody that I'm not, and you can hashtag that, Lou. But it is a hard call though, because you don't like you said, you don't want to be turning people away. But here's the thing, right? So salad on the head. My dad is probably not going to hire you, Jen, because he's going to look at that and be like, "I'm not this lady's crazy." Like she's putting salad,
of
salad on
course.
it. But the fact
and
of
Mr.
the matter is,
Pardo, I'm okay with that. I totally respect that decision, Mr. Pardo.
Exactly.
Yeah, but hopefully, I mean, what I wanted to say is that I'm an outside of the box thinker. I think creatively. I'm just that kind. I've a little bit of a creative, a humorous side to me. That's really what I want to project. I mean, it's not that I put that up there without any sort of thought. I am a business person through and through. But I also know, Joe, like, in defense of your button down, is that we all are different people. Like we all have different sides of us that compose the whole. And I think the business side of you that wants to attract high paying clientele, like if you were to show up to a business meeting with one of them, you would show up in a button down because that's the person that you are representing as your the business professional. The person in the comfortable t-shirt is hanging out with his friends, hanging out with his family, but this isn't friends. It's not family. It's a totally different environment. So I think a different person shows up in that environment, in my opinion. You can argue with me.
No, I really like that you said that. And the only one thing that I'm going to pick up, and it was purely words because I know this is not what you meant, Jen, is that it's not a different person that's showing up. It's the same person, just in a different light. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because
layers.
on Saturday I'm wearing yoga pants and a VT as well, but I would never turn up to speak on stage in that.
Right.
That doesn't mean I'm off brand. It just means that on Saturday that's what I wear. And, when I turn up to an event, I like to show up in a way that my ideal client knows that I'm the authority. I work with a lot of people that are in professional services, and I want them to take me seriously and listen to what I'm saying just because I turn up looking a certain way, not because they're thinking, what is she wearing, and not listening to what's coming out of my mouth.
Well, you're right. I mean, and thinking about your clothes shouldn't be the first thing that people think about. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be an automatic, like, oh, wow, they're like in rags or they got a salad on their head. Like, it shouldn't, you don't want that to be the first thing and the lasting impression that goes throughout that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that there is times where I have worn a button down shirt for certain situations that but day in and day out of operations, like I want to be ready to mobilize, right? I want to be able to get my hands dirty. I want to be able to get involved and not be like, oh, well, I don't want to, I don't need to be going to do unnecessary dry cleaning, here. So to me, it's what's Leon
I've got
saying?
someone hanging over my balcony watching the outside that is like just seriously like looking straight in the window, and it's quite off-putting.
I wish you could move your camera so we could see him.
Well, I can if you like.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Oh, Oh. Are you sure that's not Spider-Man? Like, is he there to save you or save somebody?
Oh, sorry. I was like a little kid then. I couldn't focus. Right. I'm back with you.
It's all good.
Right.
I've
we've
been there.
actually talked about that photo for way longer than I was thinking that we would talk about it. And there's one other thing that I want to
All right, go
mention
ahead.
before we move on to phase 2. And that's that your profile should not read like a resume. Your profile should read like how you can help your ideal client. So not this is who I am and this is what I've done and me and me and I. Not that at all. Is do you have these problems? Would you like them solved? This is how I can solve them. This is how I can back up that I've done it for other people. A Spider-Man side job. Oh, dear.
Hey, times are tough, you know. When everybody's stuck inside, there ain't a whole lot of crime be going around.
Yeah, Spider-Man's window washing now. This is what the pandemic has done.
Oh, so funny. So yeah, so really position that profile to show how you can help other people.
All right. Well, that alone is a lot of work and all very good advice. So now let's assume that our profile is on point, Sam.
Absolutely.
Okay,
So now
we're
we
ready
need
to
to
rock
make
and roll.
Yeah, now we need to network. We need to reach out to people. So we need to reach out. We need to accept invitations. Now, this is where I know a lot of people get tripped up because they think, oh, I'm not going to accept that. I don't know who that person is, or I don't want to go and ask that person to meet me. Imagine that LinkedIn was a real life networking event. If someone came up to you and put out their hand and said, hey, you know, I'm Jen, I'm Joe, would you turn around and walk away? Would you shake their hand and say, tell me more about you?
Do they have a glass of wine?
Well, actually, that is probably a really valid point. Yeah, all I'm saying is that if someone walked up to you in real life and introduced themselves, you wouldn't. I know that we wouldn't walk away. We would, you know, shake their hand and open up a conversation. So do the same in LinkedIn. If you would do it in real life, do it on LinkedIn.
Okay, but like I could go through the amount of network connections that are coming through, and they're all like literally almost all saying the same thing. Like, hey, I noticed your profile, and you know, I thought, let's say, hey there, Joe, I saw that you did consulting businesses. Blah 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 blah. Hi Joe, we're blah blah blah.
So hang on, can I put that a different way, Joe?
Okay.
Let's pretend I'm walking up to you in an event. Hey, Joe, we haven't met before. I'm Sam. I've heard lots of people saying that you're a consultant. Tell me more about that.
So that's great because I can talk to you, but is there a way? It doesn't look like I can message members outside of my direct. Oh, it's literally.
So
saying
if
I
they've
can't,
sent you
unless
a
I
message, once you connect, you can send them a message.
So I'm all for talking to people and networking with people, right? Like I accept Facebook messages and Twitter messages. Like, yeah, that's awesome. But like right now, because I'm not a paid member anymore, like I was like, I don't know.
Oh, it shouldn't. It makes no difference whether you're paid or free.
Well, according to this, it does. It says message members outside of your network, your direct network, like Justin.
So see down the side there, they're people that have reached out to you. So we're looking at your screen. For anyone that's listening on Apple Podcasts or in any of the other apps,
which you should totally subscribe to.
You won't be able to see this, but what we're looking at is Joe's screen where people have reached out. So they've sent you a message. So that top one, Melanie, if you hit accept,
right,
she's now in your network, and now you can respond to her message.
But my question is why do I want to accept it? Because it's different now than it was before? Is that the thing? Because it used to be only accept people you know.
That's like someone walking up to you that you've never met at a networking event and saying, I don't know you, get lost.
I think, well, let me see if this is what you're trying to get at, Joe. So, because I get a lot of this, you know, in-mail messages that turn me off, and they're all obviously pre-formatted. They're obviously it's just a copy and paste message that goes out to anybody that, you know, whatever, hits a certain keyword or whatever that they're looking for. And so, and it's also obvious when they inbox me that they want to sell me their services. It's like up front and center. And so I tend not to reply or connect with those people. I very rarely get a message that is typed just for me, like personal, like that is clear, that is just like, hey, you know, hey, I'd love to connect with you, but you know, something authentic. It's always like these canned responses, like they're a little off. They don't quite fit like they, and so it comes across as spam. And that's what turns, there's so many of them that it's a big turnoff. But
See, I just think this is a perception that you've got into this mindset, because when mostly when I speak to people, I would say, "Hi, how are you?" That's how I speak to everyone.
Right.
It's a copy and paste, and I'm going to put that in air quotes because I say it to everyone. So I think that this is a perception. I think that when people, they're saying this is what they do, how many people do we run into at a networking event that start off trying to sell you their services? It's exactly the same online. And I think that this is where, and either do it or don't. I don't really mind. But I think that we need to just let those hard and fast beliefs go and just open up. I'll give you an example. I had someone yesterday that reached out, and they did have one of those spammy buy my thing connections. It was, Sam, I'm reaching out to consultants and because I help people find leads. Well, I don't want that person's, but I still connected. Hi, that's great. Thanks for letting me know. And he said, look, are you wanting leads right now? No, I'm good. And I'm working with other people and blah, blah, blah. And then I turned it back on him. And I said, look, by going out in a cold and essentially cold calling to people like this, how much response do you get? Maybe you should start looking at through different prospects, through your prospect size, and you'll get more people wanting to work with you. And we ended up having a really great conversation backwards and forwards, and we parted as friends.
Well, I think that's a great example, Sam. And I'm going to this week. You've convinced me, as you normally.
You sit there with your arms crossed, like I'm not going on.
No, I'm opening my arms. I'm loosening up my blazer. I'm going to take your advice, Sam, and I'm going to for this whole week. I am going to reply to every single message I get on LinkedIn, and then I'm going to report back to you and let you know what the experience was like. Because I don't
love you too.
I've got to be willing to reframe it and try it out. Because maybe I have just been a jerk. Maybe I've just, maybe I've just been a snob.
I don't think you've been a jerk or a snob on purpose. I think that this is exactly what I used to think back when I first started on LinkedIn was, who are you? Why would I want to connect with you? I don't know who you are. You're trying to sell me something. But I have just connected with so many amazing people on LinkedIn. I've got clients from LinkedIn. I've met joint venture partners on LinkedIn. I've met people and connected with them in real life from, when they travel down to Australia from the other side of the world. I've got podcast interviews. I find guests. Like there's just so many different ways that we can use LinkedIn.
All right. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try.
and I don't know about Joe. He's looking very much I don't know about this.
I'm considering it. I don't know. I know I need to do a better job with LinkedIn in general. It's not on my homepage of apps on my phone. Like it's in my social media folder versus like Facebook and Instagram, which is probably not great. But I don't know.
I will say, you know what? I just remembered this, that a couple of years ago, I did try replying to every message, and that I thought, the spammy ones. I just, I was like, I'm going to reply. I'm going to call their bluff. I'm going to reply. And not one of them messaged me back.
Wow.
Now that was 2 years ago. I am willing to say that a lot can happen in 2 years. So I am going to try again. Thanks to Sam. She's a big influence on my life. She tells me to do something, I will do it.
I really hope that you do, Jen, because it's just such a fantastic platform. So the third piece, and we need to really touch on this quickly because I know that we need to move on to some really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Is the content strategy. And I was talking before that newsfeed views are up 60%. So making sure that you're posting content on LinkedIn is really, really important to help position your authority. So that what I post on LinkedIn is not what I typically post all the time on Facebook. I don't share about what I do with my kids. Not that I do on Facebook anyway. But it's not the more personal things. It's more if I'm sharing something personally, it's got a business metaphor or a business story wrapped around it, because on LinkedIn I'm really trying to position my authority, my expertise, and help educate people why they would want to work with me.
That makes a whole lot of sense when you say it, Sam. I'm also going to be posting more on LinkedIn.
Well, let me know when you post so I can come and give you some LinkedIn love.
Oh, please do. It's, when you don't get any response, it's very disheartening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put some effort into it.
I'm gonna put some effort into it as well.
Awesome.
I don't know if I'm
Very
gonna
good.
reply to every single one, because a lot of them seem to be trying to sell and use, like the.
But what are we afraid of, Joe?
spam
Like,
thing.
so what?
Well,
What if they do try to sell
so
to
no,
us? Like, we
well,
can just say no.
I don't know. Maybe it's just that frame of mind where it was like, oh, only accept connections with people that you know.
Right.
That's still stuck up in there, that I just I don't want to be connected to a whole bunch of people that I'm not necessarily going to deal.
Yeah, but
deal
think about
with.
it this way, Joe.
I don't mind having a conversation with them, but
but think about it
clearly
this
I need
way.
to upgrade my account.
Yeah, think about it this way. Okay, Joe. Sam's got me thinking in a whole new way already.
All right, good.
Because the business that you want is not going to come from the people you know. It's going to come from the people outside of your inner circle.
Oh,
Did I say something good?
Jen right now.
Did I say something good?
You said something brilliant. Exactly.
High five, Jen.
We need a
Yeah,
sound
well
effect,
done,
Joe,
Jen.
for when I say something brilliant. You'll hardly ever have to use it, but I want it to be something special.
You said a sign or
No, I want a sound. I want
a sound.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't own a Roadcaster or anything to hit the buttons, but
What?
I know. I know.
That's going to be our first sponsorship.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Roadcaster, so we can have
Absolutely.
I need some sound effects.
Yes.
You were 100% spot on, Jen. You
Thanks,
were
Sam.
100% spot on. And I would also like to add, do you really know everyone on your Facebook profile, Joe?
No. As time is going on, I have.
Oh, there we go, right there.
No, but again, I thought we were supposed to treat LinkedIn differently than Facebook.
So you don't have to talk to Facebook friends.
Oh, I do, but
it's
I do. I mean, I don't know every single one, but I do know probably close to 85 to 90% of them.
Oh, well, just use LinkedIn to find some new friends, Joe.
Yes, and maybe someday we'll be able to live stream this right to LinkedIn, because they'll let us in.
Yeah.
Yes, hopefully.
I would
Yeah.
like that. They're being
know.
really picky. You can apply.
I did apply. I applied
you did?
forever ago.
I applied 18 months ago.
I gave up
Yeah.
halfway through the application. I was like, this is too hard, LinkedIn. I know someday you're going to give it to everybody, so I'll just wait for that day. I don't have time for your application.
Joe Fumble.
Look, guys, I hope that you do give LinkedIn a try, because it
Yes.
is such a fabulous platform, and because people are there to do business. People are there in executive and C-suite positions. They are there to connect and network. There is a lot of opportunity to meet the right people. Don't go into it thinking you want to sell to people, and you'll do really well on it.
And I know my dad swears by it. He's only connected with parts and trucking industry people in his circle, and he absolutely swears by it.
We should have had Dominic on the podcast.
Yeah, right.
tonight.
That would
totally.
be a first. Well, my son's upstairs. His name's Dominic.
Well, Dominic Senior.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no,
Ricardo.
he would be. He like I said, he sings the praises of this of LinkedIn for sure.
I'd like to hear him sing too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would.
All right, we're moving on.
All
Moving
right.
on.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Lou. All right, so we have a couple of articles that we can talk about. It was what we got, the New York Post one. I could share that, throw that up here.
Yeah. I wanted this one on today's episode because I thought it showed a brilliant piece of marketing during this coronavirus time that we're going through. So this article is about West Elm. West Elm offered free virtual, or they're offering free virtual backdrops for your Zoom or other video conferencing calls. And these pictures are just beautiful West Elm rooms. So your Zoom background will look like you're in a nice, penthouse or a loft. And it's brilliant because one, they were solving a current need. We're on video more than ever because of the coronavirus. And a lot of us don't have offices set up, and we don't want to, show off our dirty laundry or unmade bed in the background. So we need something like a beautiful room to fill in. So they saw that need, they answered it, but then they also got a tremendous new way to market their furniture. So they opened up a brand new distribution channel to showcase their furniture. It looks good. It's in people's homes. People are talking about it. I mean, people's fancy virtual backgrounds are always the topic of any video call these days. So I thought it was a brilliant move, and I thought it was a good example of marketing during a sensitive time. So I know a lot of businesses are wondering how to market right now during the pandemic. They don't want to be tone deaf. They don't want to be insensitive. But I thought this was a brilliant move on West Elm's part.
This is so clever, so clever.
Yeah. I just wanted to give them credit. I actually downloaded several of their backgrounds, but my computer is old enough that it really doesn't want to work with me on them. But they are so pretty. I loved them.
Love it. So let's see, and the what do we also have? The Fanny DeVito. Explain this.
Yeah.
Okay. Sam doesn't like it. I already know. I already know she doesn't like it. It's the Fanny DeVito, and it is a fanny pack with Danny DeVito's face on it. Even has tufts of his hair. And I'm putting this in the coolish or foolish ? segment. Danny DeVito is he's part of our popular culture. He's been part of it for decades. He's been in a variety of shows that, we've all loved. He's a character, a lovable curmudgeon-y character. And I know we're for those of you listening to the audio version, we're looking at Danny DeVito's face right now, which is always just his face is funny. Anyway, the Danny pack, I think, is kind of clever. The Fanny DeVito, because it's a fanny pack. Fanny packs in themselves are a little questionable in terms of fashion, and then you put Danny DeVito's face on it, and all of a sudden it's a fashion statement. I say it's cool-ish.
I think it's pretty cool.
I would wear it around town with a salad on my head.
You two are on your own on that one.
I would totally put my snacks in there. I would eat out of Danny DeVito's face.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, at least one of us would.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool-ish. I say coolish.
It is. I think it's coolish. I like it.
I love Danny DeVito. I think he's fantastic. I'm not going to wear a Fanny DeVito.
Okay, what about a fanny pack? I think fanny packs are the most practical form of outerwear.
So
ever.
I just need to say right here that fanny in Australia has a very different meaning to what it does in America. And even saying it makes me sweat and makes my hands go sweaty.
Oh.
Okay. I'm actually going to tell you offline what it means in Australia.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well,
I'm looking forward to that.
I love a fanny. I wish fanny packs were more fashionable because I love them. They're so
Go to Disney World. Everybody's wearing them.
Oh, well. I didn't know that. Who's got to grind my gears?
I have a minor one.
Share away.
So-
That's all we've got.
So oh wow, Jen, I'm surprised. I think this was last week. Because I had a couple of them from last week or the week before. Anyway, I was listening to the radio. I think I drove somewhere and a commercial came on the radio talking about there's this place called The Pub. It's here in South Jersey. It's like the original pub. They have like the buffet salad and it's like a meat and potatoes kind of place. It's cool. Like I've been there a bunch of times. Been around forever. But they ran a commercial, and this was like last week. I think it was last week for their Easter special. And how you should come in and enjoy their salad bar, and how you should enjoy it. Like, yeah. And I'm like, why did nobody kill that commercial and run a different commercial? Like, why are you promoting something? And I've driven past it, I think, once or twice since this all has gone down, and it's totally empty there. They're not even like doing takeout like every place else apparently. So instead of running a different commercial or running no commercial, they ran a commercial for something that they legally cannot do.
I wonder if they'd just forgotten that it was scheduled.
That's a lot. I'm sure it's not cheap. So that's really a shame. So that's why it grinds my gears, is because it's a small local business. They were mentioned, I think, on the Steve Harvey show at one point too, because they had like a big poster board thing like right when you walk in to talk about being on the Steve Harvey show. But yeah, it just grinds my gears because it's like, it's wasted money, it's wasted opportunity. They could have changed the text, right? Change what you're saying, change the messaging, so that it makes it. Yeah, like it's as a Joe Pardo, it is very frustrating to hear.
My gosh, no, I'm so sorry. Okay, yeah. I have a grind my gears, but I forgot it.
But now you've remembered it, right?
No, I just forgot it when I was responding to Joe and trying to get mad with him. It was a good one too. I know it was a good one. And I'm going to be so mad because I'm going to remember it as soon as we hang up.
Oh, you have to put it straight into the spreadsheet so that it's all ready for next week.
What was it related to?
I don't even know. I was like, it's totally gone.
Can I do a reverse grind my gears then off the back of what Joe was talking about? I don't do grind my gears very well, do I? But in Australia, I don't know. Do you guys do like a 4-day holiday over Easter? Is that what you normally do in the US? Okay, so in Australia, we have a 4-day holiday. Wow. And so we love Easter in Australia because, that's the time that we all go away. Everyone goes away for Easter, camping, going away with friends. So it's a big time for people to be selling camping gear, caravans, all of that kind of thing. And a lot of people, exactly like Joe said, have been putting out their advertising in exactly the same way. And I've been thinking the same thing, that is such a waste that they're still running the advertising. Then yesterday, one of the companies that sells camping gear and tents and all of that kind of thing have just put together a promotion where you put your tent up in the backyard for Easter and you take pictures of it and you enter a competition. And I just thought that was a really cool take to still be able to sell your camping gear, for the busiest weekend of the year. And B, to get people involved. I just thought it was super, super cool how they pivoted that message, or I actually don't like the word pivot. I spoke about that on Facebook today, but realigned their message so that it was applicable and relatable to their market. And so big shout out to Anaconda here in Australia. They did a great job of that.
That's awesome.
I remembered my grind my gears.
Well, there we go.
All right. So I'm sure a lot of people are doing this in their at home downtime. I have been unsubscribing from a bunch of, email lists and stuff that I've gotten on. I was just, trying to clean up my inbox, doing some housekeeping. This is what I hate. When you unsubscribe from an email list and they send you an email to confirm that you've been unsubscribed. I thought I was going to lose it.
I've never even seen that before.
It happened to me twice. I probably unsubscribed from like 10 lists. 20% of those lists emailed me to confirm that I unsubscribed from their email. And I thought I was going insane. Why would that be? Why?
Well, what about the ones that say, well, it takes about 10 days for us to remove you from our list?
I haven't.
And they
had that.
continue to send you emails in the meantime.
I haven't had that. I have had that you have to unsubscribe from all their lists. Like they have 25 different lists, and you think you've unsubscribed, but you only unsubscribe from one of the 25. That's tricky. That's very tricky. But yeah, don't send me an email when I unsubscribe from your email list. That's how bad I get.
That's clearly.
Wow. I have no more words.
Lou agrees with me finally. Oh, thank you, Lou. He didn't like the Fanny DeVito, but he agrees with me on that. Yay. Oh, John Piper's joining us from Denton, Texas. A little late, John, but that's okay. We'll take you when we can get you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we have a new time now for anyone who's just, jumping in. Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Tuesdays 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Australian Eastern
Standard Time.
Yep. Standard time.
Just
daylight
try to keep
time.
up with
Isn't it
us.
daylight
No,
time?
Standard Time, because we've just come off daylight time. We're heading into winter.
Which is, so I was going to ask, is Easter your Labor Day?
No, we have Labor Day too. Hey, we're in Australia.
Labor Day.
We take all the holidays now. We have all the holidays.
I'm going down under.
Yeah, well, I was planning on it this year, but not anymore.
Not anymore. So sad. So sad.
It is.
Well, we're right up at the hour, guys.
Yes, so we need to wrap this up. It has been fun. Thank you all so much for watching. You should totally follow us on Facebook.com/Business Geeks Podcast. You should go to our newly renovated website. I don't think we told you, Jen, but me and Leon worked it out. You can go to businessgeekspodcast.com. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube. We're there. It's a little hard to find us, but if you go to businessgeekspodcast.com, scroll down, click on watch on YouTube, right above the subscribe buttons there. We have subscribe buttons now on the front homepage.
Sam had to grind my gears, Jen, and said to the guys, "This is not good enough."
Yes, no, I agree. Is that why Leon jumped in? Because
I had a stalker went, "This is not good enough, guys. Do something with it," and they did. In all fairness, they did, and I'm much happier.
I can't wait to look at it.
We need some more images and things to go together, and we need a group photo when we actually can get together.
When we can actually travel. It was going to be this year.
Well, it had, yeah, that's true.
Anyways.
All right. So, go check out businessgeekspodcast.com. We'll be back next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday, 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Time. Go check us out, and we'll have our next episode then. Hope you all have a great, safe week. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Please come back, John Piper. Okay.
Is it? Oh, there it goes.